You should be here.
Call the meeting to order. Let's try to get some mics on and we'll start with the pledge. Please join me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Mike.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks to all of you for your continued service, and thanks for all you've done in the past, and look forward to with expectation to this new year 2017. Let us pray. Gracious God, we come to you at the beginning of another year, a year of your grace. We give thanks for your promise that you've been with us through the past year, and we look forward to you who provide the hope for years to come. We don't know what lies in the future, O God, but we trust in you. We trust in your care. We give thanks for these, your public servants that have been appointed, have been elected here in Lindsborg. We pray that you would empower them to continue to carry out the work they're called to do. We pray that you would enable us of this community to support them and to work together for the betterment of this wonderful place. We know, O God, that you are with us, that you provide guidance in government, and we pray for that guidance, not only for this community, but for our nation and for the world. Strengthen us for service. We pray in the name of our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Public input tonight? Seeing none. Amendments to the agenda, council members?
Tim, did you want to speak during the other portion?
I was going to do it, no, under my report.
Okay. No.
Okay. Mayor's report. I have same sentiment as Pastor Mike. Happy New Year to all council members. I really thank you for your efforts in 2016. I think we achieved a lot, and you know, through all of our efforts and really appreciate your service to this community, and I look forward to great things in 2017. So please remember to recycle as much as you can and whenever possible. So consent agenda, what is your desire? It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Well, wait a minute. I missed the motion and the second because I was listening to our esteemed attorney.
And I was just asking when the trash is due.
So who made the motion?
Kelly made the motion,
Kelly.
Eno seconded.
Before we do that, just so everybody knows, trash will be picked up tomorrow. So, and it is recycling day tomorrow, so please put out your blue container up.
Okay, Emo.
Yes.
Corey.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Blaine.
Yes.
Kelly. Yes. Thank you.
Motion carried. We have appointments tonight for EMS. Tim?
Okay. Okay.
I have 3 appointments for EMS. Tanya Mills and Taylor Tiani and Signe Showalter. And 2 of them are here. 2 of the 3 are here tonight.
And they are who? Who's who?
Tanya on the left and then Taylor on the right.
Okay. Great.
And I would like to have them put on the EMS roster, so I'm asking for your approval.
Council, what is your desire?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anything you'd like to hear from them? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Taking a picture?
That would be great.
Okay. Ask you to come forward and take a picture here. Right around here.
Just so you know, I take more than one. 1, 2, smile. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you again very much. Appreciate your service. Tim, how many does that make on our EMS court now?
Sorry.
How many members of the court do we have now?
We're up to 30.
30. That's great.
And that's active.
I mean, that's been a while coming, hasn't it? Yeah. So,
I think, not too long ago, we were at 8, so.
great. You guys are welcome to stay.
It's really boring.
Thank you very much. Planning and zoning, Gary, anything?
No report?
Nothing under old business. Let's talk trail extension engineering. Gary?
Now that we're in 2017, we can approve funds that were budgeted for the engineering portion of the trail. We've already done some boundary survey mapping, so we've been able to reduce what was expected to be $100,000 worth of costs in 2017. We're actually down to the 5530 because we got a reduction in the estimate of the project, engineering portion of the project. So unless you have any other questions, we're ahead of schedule, ahead of budget. Very happy right now.
What is your desire,
I'll
council?
make the recommendation to approve $55,300 to Wilson and Company for final engineering of Phase 2 of the trail extension project.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions of Gary?
What do we do with the extra funds that are left over from this? Will they just stay in their respective accounts?
Very good answer to that.
Yes. The short and sweet answer to that is yes. This early in the year,
We'll have some unknowns probably.
yes, plus you have, we haven't received really any revenue yet this year. We're paying from carryover from last year, so just because an item's budgeted, you still have to match it with revenue somewhere along the line. So early enough in the year that, I know we're gonna cover it, but whether we're gonna have the actual 33,000 extra, I can't guarantee that.
Okay.
Gary, you said you're ahead of budget, you're lower budget and ahead of time frame. What is that? What is the short answer for the time frame on this 1.4 mile extension for the trail?
We'll still hold off bid letting and construction to 2018, just because of funding issues.
Okay, state funding,
No, our funding.
our funding,
And
okay,
we're not piling a lot of expense into 1 year.
okay.
We have until August of 2018 pretty much before we do the grant.
Okay. Any more discussion for Gary? Mark, we're talking about the first item, trail extension engineering, and the recommendation on the floor is to expenditure $55,300 with Wilson and Company for this project.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Excuse me, Kelly? Yes. Lane?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Emo?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is the 2017 workers' compensation insurance. Larry?
We get our work comp insurance through KMIT, which is the Kansas Municipal Insurance Trust. That's a consortium of local cities throughout the state that make up the membership. Last year, the experience mod, which is what they base rates upon, was 0.94. This year it's 0.73. We have a much better experience because of much lower usage on workers' comp. Also, we are a gold member, which means we get a 10% discount. Last year, I think we were a bronze, silver member, but we had an 8% discount, so we do get a little bit of there. Also, the rates per category are lower this year than what they were last year. So overall, what I'm recommending is $25,253 spread across the various funds. That is over a $13,000 savings over what last year's was.
Council, what is your desire?
I'll make the motion to approve the 2017 KMET workers' compensation insurance in the amount of $25,253.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions of Larry?
I guess just more of a comment, I guess just compliment the city staff, managers. I assume are we out in the low moderate or experience rate? Do we have safety program in place, or what do you think we could attribute
We
that
have
to?
a committee that meets monthly, and we review and run safety checks throughout various departments. And then we do meet with the representative from KMET, the work comp representative, so we make sure that we are covering things.
I think we've also helped, but the employees themselves have helped create a culture of safety in doing their jobs, which has helped tremendously. That's great.
I'll echo what Corey said. That's wonderful to get a 0.73. I mean, that's doing great.
Thank you.
Thank you to everybody for that.
That's good work.
So the budget, I assume, was about 40,000 on this, and we came in at 25.
Somewhere around that area, yes, so
Okay,
we're below budget.
great. Roll call, please.
Emo.
Yes.
Corey.
Yes?
Blaine.
Yes.
Ellie. Yes. Mark.
Yes.
Motion carried. I just wondered if you were going to go back to Mark there. It'll penalize him, Mark. It'll penalize him. Local sales tax transfer. Larry?
Okay, last meeting, I came and asked for authorization for transfers. This is just a follow-up showing exactly how much sales tax was received. It is lower than last year, but it is within the average of the prior years. The only thing I do not know for certain yet is the actual transfer within the general fund of the 1% sales tax for the Sunstream Conference Center. And I will not know that until all of the bills have come in, so I might know that by the next council meeting.
Okay, this is information only.
Information only, so if you have any questions, the actual sales tax numbers are listed here now.
Council members, any questions? Thank you, Larry. Moving on to tree trimming bids. Mr. Dunn?
It's an item for our annual tree trimming program. Issue of the Low 4, which is from Chestnut to Cornell Road, all into the town. We received 2 bids, we tried for 3, we received 2, and the low bid is from White Street Cutting in the amount of $2,000, $17,800. We budgeted $16,000, so we are under budget. About $4,000 on this item, but I think you might have noticed on the agenda item that we had some trouble with some of the tree trimming last year. One of the issues we have is our local guy, his truck just isn't tall enough to get some of the canopy trees. So we think we will come back to you for a bit to get the canopy trees from someone else. So anyway, we want to muddy the waters, but recommend motion on the West Street tree.
Council members, desire?
I'll make the motion to approve $12,000 to Wise Tree Cutting for annual line clearing program.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions for Tim?
Will this area have the same problem with the canopy trees?
Not as bad as last year. We will have to get some in that zone, and we would like to move back to zone 3 and pick up some that we didn't get last year.
So Tim, are we going to be going back to the same property owners? We trim some and then we go back and say we're coming back now to catch your trees and this and that. I mean, are we setting ourselves up for issues here?
I think anytime you go up to the canopy trees, you are asking for issues, yes. People don't like their trees trimmed, but they're over the lines and they need to be done. We're sorry, but we need to do that.
in your opinion, are we setting ourselves up for additional concern by having to go through twice?
I suppose it's possible. I hadn't anticipated that as a problem.
I would say probably more so going through the second time, because you are dealing with canopy trees that are providing the shade. The problem is they hang over the electrical lines and create reliability issues.
Just a point of concern.
Yeah, I'd be concerned too, and I still strongly suggest that it be done.
Oh, I'm not saying not to do them. My concern is to have two bids, two contractors. Are we shooting ourselves in the foot by
Well-
going to two contractors is what my concern is.
Well,
Should we look at one that can do both, do the whole job at one time?
Yeah, and they're also $3,800 higher than I thought.
So canopy cutting, your expectation is you're gonna get it done for 4,000 or less and stay within your budget.
I will limit it to 4,000, and I take the worst first on the trees.
Okay. Well, it's a good answer.
I don't want to-
I appreciate the answer and all that. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah, I'm not gonna let it go off the budget.
limit my
It
phone
makes you
calls.
mad.
Okay. Other questions, council members? Any questions? Roll call, please.
Kelly? Yes. Blaine?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Evil?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. Moving on to water tower maintenance agreement.
Okay, we've had a study session on the water tower maintenance agreement. I think that most of you felt like it was a worthy program. I certainly do. Long-term prospect for the tower, that we can actually save money doing this. And they have a sterling reputation. I think it's a good firm. Would recommend that we go with this maintenance agreement.
What is your desire, council members?
I make the motion to approve the maintenance agreement with utility services at first year cost of $134,022 and annual adjusted payments of $15.
You've heard,
Ten
I'm sorry.
years. That's a 10-year, right?
That- That's
15.
just, it's ongoing.
Oh, it's a longer, okay. Yeah.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions for Tim?
And Jake Duder from Utility Services is here if you have any questions that you'd like to ask him.
Does this include a logo now? Is that a logo?
Yes, sir, it does.
Yes.
Do we get choice of logos or?
Yes.
Yep.
Three
Yeah.
sides?
Yeah, it includes one side. You can do a second additional side if you'd like.
You were yes sir so easy. I was gonna say.
Right. All four of the logos submitted, any of your choosing. And we can, what we'll do is we'll supply you guys kind of a rendering and show you what the particular logo would look like on there for your approval before we would actually put it on there at the time of the project.
You say there have been 4 logos submitted? Did I?
There were 4 logos presented to us, and we presented that because of some of them had small print, I can't even remember what they said, but they would never show, the size that we'd have to do on the tower, the little letters would never, and they'd probably be below that rail too.
Okay.
So I think put all our money into Dave Lindsborg and the dollars.
Okay.
Holly did make some renderings, and I think you'll like them. In my opinion, you'll like them.
Well,
I'll
follow
ship that far.
Big logo and the Midsummer's or
That's
something,
whoever
Whoever
wants
wants
to get up there and put a blanket up
I think the person that designed the logo should stand up.
there. There we go.
You think the one
The person that designed it should be up on the.
we need it all. One now.
Good, that's exciting, so. We'll be official, we'll have our name on our tower.
Maybe just a quick question on the logo. Is that vinyl or how do you apply that?
What was the question again?
The logo itself, is it a vinyl or how do you apply?
No, it's a coating.
Okay.
It's a pain.
So it should last as long as the rest of the.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep, and we maintain that as under the agreement as well. So if we do need to, touch it up or do anything over that time period, we take care of that as well. So it's actually what am I trying to say? A template that goes up there that we actually trace it and then we put it on there. That's actually the last thing that goes on it. So.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mark?
Yes.
Eno?
Yes.
Cory?
Yes.
Yes.
Kelly? Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Next item is West Union vehicle abatement. Chief?
So a resolution prepared to abate 2 vehicles on property on West Union. If I were to give you a location, if Pine Street continued south, it would be in about the 200 block of South Pine in that area.
In the trees, or in the trees. Council, what is your desire on resolution 01-17?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded on resolution to abate these 2 vehicles. Discussion for chief?
Timber, didn't we go to this property once before?
Yes.
And is there still some stuff left there from that time, just we couldn't do anything about it because it was too old or something, or not tagged, or?
At the time that we went there, it was a tag issue, and they were tagged. Some of the property that's there is there now have antique tags and their lifetime, so basically we can't really mess with that property as long as they're legally tagged and it looks like they run. But these are not.
Thanks, Gary.
Those 2 vehicles.
Okay.
Any further discussion for Tim? Roll call, please.
Mark?
Yes.
Eno?
Yes.
Cory?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes.
Kelly? Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you, Tim. Next item is the 2017 legislative priorities. Call upon the city administrator.
Whatever. In front of you, you have the priorities for 2017 that have been distributed to prior. Here's the final format. If and when approved, we share these with our state legislators, federal legislators on the issues of concern to you as the city council. And with that, I would open it up to any, so I guess you're trying to motion.
Is there a motion to approve legislative priorities for 2017?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Is there a second? Been moved and seconded. Discussions? Any discussions on these at all? I will say we appreciated Representative Steve Johnson for his time earlier tonight. We did discuss in pre-council study session several of the items that are included in here, amongst other things. Felt we had a great session and really appreciate Steve's work in the legislature for us. So thank you, Steve.
I guess I do have one question. The internet sales tax collection, item number 9. We discussed the inability of governments to collect local option sales or compensating use tax on remote sales. We support state legislation establishing a program to help the state collect these taxes from in-state purchasers. I thought that was already in place. Am I misunderstanding that?
Well, from an in-state standpoint, there's the compensating use program, but there's not really the ability for the state to say, I mean, they can ask on a voluntary basis, and everybody's is by statute to pay it, because there's not a program to actually.
For out-of-state
Yes.
purchases, not in-state.
Correct, yes.
Okay, well, that's in-state purchasers, so I would, in-state purchasers of out-of-state
Correct, yes.
sales, okay.
questions for Greg or other staff that helped develop this? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Are these available, I'm sorry,
You're still in, go.
okay. Are these available for citizens to review online? Where do we?
There will be, as you can see, what I distributed electronically in your package, or packet. It didn't translate very well. That's part of the reason we gave you a hard copy. When we converted it from one program into a PDF document, it wouldn't do the pages in order because it's in booklet form. So we need to reformat it so that it can be in a more logical order. And yes, we will get it posted on the city's website.
Two questions. Moving on to item H, the city administrator employment agreement. Rick Martin, who is the president of the council, convened the personnel policy committee along with our city administrator Greg. We appreciated the input from council members and from staff. I thought it was very informative and a good look at how Greg is relating to the staff that he is leading, the team that he is leading there, and also from council members' point of view in meeting your expectations and your goals. It was I think a very positive review of Greg, and thus the agreement you'll see before you. The recommendation from that is to approve the employment agreement between the city of Lindsborg and city administrator Greg Dumars. What is your desire?
Motion to approve. And I need to include.
Probably just the motion to include the employment agreement, Bill, or does it need to speak to?
I think you should adopt the employment agreement with an annual salary of X number of dollars, whatever that is.
Which is $103,736.
Okay. The motion as read is to employment agreement to include a annual salary of $103,736. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? Any discussion?
Just want to thank Greg for his service. Very fortunate to have him here.
How many years, Greg?
18.
18 years. Very good. Roll call, please.
Kelly,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Eno,
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Thank you, Greg, for your service. Ollie, you want to step forward and tell us about Midwest Living Now?
Currently, we have an opportunity every year to advertise in many publications, as you're well aware, but one of the ones that comes to the forefront frequently is Midwest Living. We currently do not advertise with them because their ads are extremely expensive. A very small ad in a monthly publication runs at over $4,000. And we just feel like that's a one-time kind of shot in the dark. And it's not very wise for us to spend our dollars that way. Currently, though, they come out every year with something that's called the Best of the Midwest. It's a travel magazine. Has a long shelf life. It's sold to be taken with you while you travel. It covers 17 different Midwestern states. Has all different kinds of stops, things that you can enjoy while you're in these different states. I flipped through it this year, and Lindsborg was not mentioned in it. And they actually went through and marked it up for me. And I went through and thought, oh, these are things that we have been listed in, and found out it was Canopolis Lake close by. There was a page that shows the ads that were placed by other communities throughout the state, and they somehow knew to mark this. I guess that was the state of Kansas is actually in the ad, which I'm not sure they knew, but anyhow, but we weren't listed anywhere, and I was really disappointed by that because some of the places that were listed, I felt like we qualified better as a stop. But the reality is that many of these publications are pay to play. And so I got to looking at this, and for $1,100, we could do one of the ads that I showed you, one of these smaller ads, it's like 2.5 inches by 4 inches, they're very small. But we can participate that in our state section of the magazine. And I feel like it's a wise thing for us to do for the cost of $1,100 because of the long shelf life this has, that people carry it, it's not a one-month issue. We also, I think, have a better chance of making the editorial bin for the following year. We won't this year because that's already been determined, but we would for probably the 2018 year. It gives me a foot in the door where I can have some of those conversations. So what I am requesting is that we go ahead and approve to spend $1,100 on this 2.25 by 4-inch ad, and that I would be allowed to get this ad designed and sent off.
Council, what is your desire?
I'll make the motion to approve the ad with Midwest Living's Best of the Midwest publication at a cost of $1,100.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Holly, would you get those magazines to have them available in your office to distribute them, or how would that work?
I would have to ask about that. They probably would be willing to give me a small number of them,
Okay,
but probably no more than I would guess 6 or 8.
okay.
So.
Now, are these sent out, or did you say buy? People buy those?
You can purchase them, they can come with a subscription, but
Okay.
you can purchase them in any magazine stand.
Okay.
So they have a,
Will there be any way to track any response that we've seen from that, to use any kind of special phone number or anything that is?
they do have a
Tracking
reader's,
ability.
reader's response section in here that I
Okay.
do believe we would be listed in, and right
Okay.
now there's probably 10 other communities in the state that are listed in there,
Okay,
which we've had some nice return out of in
Good.
the past with AAA.
Okay. Any idea numbers as far as the subscriptions or what amount, the number it goes to print?
Let me see if that's in the information that
Let's
I
see.
gave you. I'm not seeing it because they're file specifications. They did give it to me, and it's a high readership. Midwest Living is a well-used magazine, so I have no hesitation as far as.
And the demographic of a reader of this magazine probably fits our,
I would say much higher income level. People that tend to like to decorate, people that, higher income level. I would say probably in the upper 80s and higher for household income, 80,000.
additional questions? Jerry?
Mark,
Yes.
Emo,
Yes.
Cory,
yes?
Blaine? Yes. Kelly? Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. Holly, you'll stay right in there for CBD Sunstream?
Well, the one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention tonight, I was visiting just the end of this past week with Jake Hewitt from HP Marketing out of Topeka, who handles all of the state's marketing. And Jake called to see if we would be willing to consider working with them on a kickoff project for state marketing. So I believe we will be looking at that potentially. They will be talking with the state about that, and I can't really talk about the details of that necessarily yet tonight, but so I'll share that with you next time around. But it's exciting. It's a great opportunity for us, and it's a great opportunity for us to be able to work with the state in some ways that I think will pay us a nice return in the end. So that's been a really positive thing. We had our ad run on the super screen in Times Square mid-December. It'd be interesting to see if we have return out of that, and we don't know always what our return is. We did a small AAA ad, as you remember earlier in the year, last year we had a budget item to go through where we were going to run a couple of ads in AAA magazine, and we had a nice return with the reader response, and we mailed out almost 400 items. We did one small ad this fall because we had a little bit of budget I felt like we could use for that. And we ended up with more reader response, almost double out of that ad as to what we had in the first 2 ads. So learned a little bit about some placement in a little bit different publication with AAA. So we will be, again, using a volunteer to send out materials. We send a postcard out that's handwritten that says, "Hope to see you in 2017." Address it to them by hand, and that is mailed out. And 2 weeks later, we send out a visitor's guide to them. So we've had people forget that they filled out the reader response and call me and say, "Where is this place?" And I'll say, "Well, you filled out a reader response." Or, "Oh, okay." But we've had some nice return out of it, where people are actually coming for visits out of this, and we're having them comment on that. So that's been fantastic. And the publications that we've gone into have targeted mainly Colorado and Oklahoma, or so I thought. The Oklahoma publication, interestingly enough, has had a huge response out of areas in the eastern part of our country. Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, some states I did not anticipate at all. And I don't know what that's all about unless there's some connection to Oklahoma and they're still receiving, publications that are being mailed to them. I don't know what that is. But anyway, it's been interesting to watch and interesting to see the return. The conference center is doing really well for this year. We can't remember, and we wish we tracked it a little bit better, how many events we had scheduled this time last year. We believe it was somewhere around 15. I know we were just kind of getting our feet wet and getting it all figured out and didn't track it. This year we're going to do a little bit better job of tracking, so we kind of know by what time of the year we had what booked and how many of what, so that we have a better idea going into the subsequent years what to expect or where we need to be putting our energy. But currently, we are doing well. We have 7 meetings booked for the year, 16 weddings, and 11 other types of meetings, which could be a birthday party, a bridal shower, all kinds of different things. So 34 events, 4,715 people that we know will be coming through our doors already at the conference center. And that does not count a contract that we have pending for approximately 15 more meetings throughout the year, and 3 contracts that just are out this week that we're just waiting on signatures for. So Amy's doing a phenomenal job marketing and closing sales on that. So it's been really good. Going back to the topic of scheduling an event here with the state of Kansas, we talked about some possibilities, and then when I looked at the calendar, I realized there was only one date in the month they wanted to do it, that we weren't booked across the street. So that's kind of makes you feel good when you realize that we're having to tell people you're going to have to schedule ahead of time, or we just can't do it because it's already booked. So we're, I think, where we want to be, and planning to be continuing on.
Holly, we still have the white trucks, are they still coming this year?
Well, we have contract pending with them. They will be determining that. That's the contract that we will be looking at. It's due in March, I believe. So Amy's putting that together right now.
Because I saw in Newton one day when I was coming home, they were using, is it Meridian or whatever that is?
That very well could be. They've used the Meridian some in the past. I have been to the Meridian just within the last month for a meeting, and it's bragging. I'm just going to brag. Our staffing is 100,000 times better. So there's no comparison when you go into the way you're greeted, the way you're treated while you're there, and the service. It's just so much better here. And I think our community has helped with that, because our service is not just within our doors, it's outside of our doors, it's all along Main Street.
Sure. So we're working on that still.
I think they also save budget for higher end events. And so in some cases, I think that we are able to pull the higher budgeted multi-day.
Okay, thank you.
How did the KSA convention go?
Amy can speak to it, but it went really well. I'm not sure that we've had some conversations since. I'm not sure we've had signed contracts yet, but I think there are some that are very serious about it. It was very good. She can speak to it a little bit more if you want to. It was kind of speed dating opportunity this year, and provided a lot more one-on-one conversations. So you really got to meet who you'd be working with, which I think was really positive for us. And I know out of McPherson, Joni told me, the CBD director at McPherson told me that she booked like 5 events out of that. So we feel like it'll be a good return for us. Again, we struggle with the overnights. And
that was going to be my follow-up.
That's going to be the follow-up question.
Yeah.
We struggle with the 2-day meetings, or even meetings that start early in the day, because people, even centrally located, you still have to drive. And so getting up at 5, leaving at 5 in the morning or sometimes earlier is not something people want to do, to be here by 8 o'clock.
Do the attendees of some of these conferences that we have, do they fill out a survey of any kind before they leave, just sharing their comments on good and bad?
We have put a survey card out in the past. I'm not sure, did we do it early when you were here, or was it before you were here?
It's right
When you started. And what we found out, a lot of people would just leave them laying and they wouldn't fill anything out. We tried Survey Monkey, didn't have a good response with that after they left. So we're talking about some different things that we can utilize this year. Not only to include that, but also to include some things with ratings on TripAdvisor, because that's a huge tool that people are using all the time to rate and to promote different stops. So we will be putting table tents out that say, please rate us on TripAdvisor while you're here, that also have the password for the Wi-Fi in the building, so we'll be utilizing that. Actually, I have that on my list to set up this week, so we have some things in place. If the survey is something you want to see, we can look at that, and we can try it again. We have tried it in the past and didn't have a lot of success with it, but we're willing to give it another shot.
We have some really good Google reviews right now. Like if you Google the Sunstrom and then you look in the review section, there's some really nice comments written in there that I just booked one right before I came because they saw those reviews. So I don't know if surveys are good, maybe to use in our own marketing, but if we can get people to review on public spaces in a positive manner, then I think that that's the key.
I think the survey to the meeting planner or whoever's organizing the event can be well advised. If you're not doing it.
And we have tried it, and again, we struggle getting them filled out in return.
But our marketing packets do include a new testimonial quotes.
We've asked for those. We've said, could you please give us comments? And so when we sent marketing packets out, we've sent them with those in them. And again, with that, you can pick and choose a little bit. The individuals you know had good comments for you while they were there. We don't have a whole lot of disgruntledness. We've had a little bit. Some of it has been things out of our control, such as when we've had a dance downtown and it was at the same time, and we've had to shift things around a little bit. And disgruntledness over, not being allowed to drink when you're underage, some things like that. But small stuff.
Details.
Small stuff, details, yeah. But again, Amy handles that really well too, and she's small but mighty.
Tim, they can't get a visitor pass for drinking underage. I'm sorry, no. Parking maybe, but not drinking underage. So that's good. Holly, I think it's great. That's a great report. Lots of good things, happened last year, and I look for great things this year between
We do too.
everything you do. So we appreciate all you do for all of us. Next up, we have Public Works.
A couple items. One's just an FYI. You remember, I'm sure, with Lawrence, we were always talking about the sexualizing fuses and trying to get our circuits lined up the way they were. We got them the way we were told by the engineer that they needed to be, and we still had trouble on the central circuit. So we have Mike Schmader from
Mid-States Energy.
Mid-States. He's going to be down on the 10th. He's figured out a way that he can, in the substation, he can tweak a relay, tweak a meter. He can do several little tweaks and actually get it to where we can fuse. The central circuit's always been 10 to 20 amps lower breakers on it, and now we're going to be able to get up to the full 50 like all the rest of the circuit. So we're hoping that by breaking it in half and being able to fuse higher, that we can reduce even further some of the outages that we've experienced. So also,
No outages in November or December.
pardon me?
It says no outages in November or December.
Yeah, well, we want no outages from January to December. That's the goal. Unless they're from Westar, and I think that's going to get better too. This is the contracts that get up on the payments. So you can pick those up in the morning. Okay. I'll hand that to you. What I just, as mayor, is my letter. It says, "It is the very next feelings that the time has come for me to formally announce my retirement from the Lindsborg Public Works Department. The last 24 years spent living and working in this community have been most satisfying I've ever experienced. It is time for my wife and me to begin the next phase of our life. I would like to think we've had a pretty good run together, with more projects conceived, designed, and completed by this city than could ever be listed here. I've been so very proud to be associated with these endeavors and all the people it took to make them happen. The forward thinking of the council and the administration and the empowerment to its employees will serve the city well far into the future. As I'm sure you are aware, no one in my position can ever be successful without a talented and dedicated team that truly does all the hard work. I commend your Public Works Department to you. With my sincere gratitude for this opportunity to turn into a career, I wish you all the very best. My final day of employment will be March 31st, 2017.
Well, thank you, Tim.
Questions?
Tim, no, really, we do thank you very much, and you are correct, there have been lots of projects, and you do have a great team around you, and it takes leadership of that team, so it is appreciated by all.
You got a good team to work for.
Tim, one thing before we do, I have noticed that the new substation is lit up now, west of town.
I haven't been up there.
Yes, the other night I was going home, and there's lots of lights, and, you know, and all that, there's, you know, a lot of action going on, there's lots of things built out there, but it's actually lit up at night now and stuff, so.
I've not heard that they're not online yet.
What's the expectation of that project?
June 1st.
June 1st, it should be energized, and we should be receiving the feed from them sometime either later this month or the first of next month. They should start construction of the new feed into the substation.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. Chief?
So with that, I don't know if I can top that.
Don't even do it.
We're going to have a party on April 1st.
You'll be the fool.
No, I'm just kidding. It's really, it's been great working with you. I wanted to point out that we did the Blue Santa program again this year, and I wanted to put a shout out to Officer Terry Reed, who spearheaded that program for us this year and got the gifts delivered to those in need. And so I just wanted to say that. Very proud of him for taking that on. Being the first of 2017, it's also the beginning of 2016, so I thought I'd run a few stats from 2016 for the police, fire, and EMS. We had about 460 cases that we received in 2016, which is a little higher than we had in 2015, but pretty close. One of the areas that we had an increase was in car burglaries. We had about a 25% increase in car burglaries in 2016. So that was one of the areas that we did have a pretty significant increase.
What was your solve rate? Can we ask questions as you go?
Sure.
Did you feel pretty good about your solve rate of those cases?
The solve rate?
Yeah, did you get them solved? You know, did you
Not
resolve
all
the
of
issue?
them.
Did you?
Not all of them, no.
Okay.
Not, you know, I'd like to solve all of them.
Yeah.
But we did solve some, but not all of them.
Okay.
We had several drug cases, drug arrests that we had this year. We are finding that the drugs that we are seizing is a lot higher grade than we're used to seizing. So it's a very good indicator that most of our marijuana, at least that we're seizing, is coming from Colorado. So we are seeing, when we test our marijuana, it's pretty good, pretty high grade stuff. As far as traffic tickets issued, we issued about 340 traffic tickets, which was a little more than we did last year, and we had a little less traffic accidents because of it, I think. Well, I don't know because of that, but I like to think it's because of that. We only had 46 traffic accidents compared to 53 in 2015.
The accidents that have happened, are they at controlled intersections, or are they, I know that's come up before, asking for either yield or stop signs, and I didn't know if we know how.
It's a mix. The majority of the accidents that occur are at controlled intersections, when there are intersections.
Thanks.
No. As far as the ambulance service, they had 501 runs for 2016, compared to 522 in 2015. Out of those 501 runs, we only transported 319. And of those 319, 218 were Medicare calls, so kind of gives you an idea of the number of people that we actually transport compared to how many runs we had for.
Yeah, weren't we deferring more this year, though, of some of our runs to outside agencies to do the normal transports and all that? Do you think that, or was that the same thing in 15?
Yeah, and I think we're going to get to a point here real quick, we're going to be able to pick those back up, so hopefully we can, but we've got to get another ambulance.
No, I understand that, yeah.
If I can pick up on one thing you said there, 218, is that correct? Of the 319 transports were Medicare?
That's correct.
So in other words, they're not covering our costs or our charges?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2/3 of our transports.
Quite a bit. Yeah. As far as, so that's pretty much ambulance. For the fire department, we had 102 runs for the year. It is the 7th year in a row that we've been over 100 plus runs for fire department. Prior to that, we were running, if we had a good year, we had 50. So the trend has been an increase for fire runs for the year. But that's a combination of both city and rural.
Do you have a breakdown of city versus rural?
I don't have that in front of me, but it's usually double rural.
The reason I ask that, we do have a contract with the rural. I mean, if they're seeing a massive increase in rural runs and all that, it's something that we should take into account when we do our contract next year.
I have to look at that.
Well, we do address that in the contract. Anything over 40 runs, we charge per run above, it's 40 runs, correct, Larry?
Yes.
Anything over 40 runs, we charge per run above that. So we try to cover that in that, so that's one way we try to account for it.
I think there were over 60 rural runs this year out of the total.
I was gonna ask, is there anything you can attribute the increase or the trend upward to?
Well, I know that some of it is we went to a dispatching system that dispatches fire with EMS a lot more than we used to. I think when we went to the JAWS and did a lot of fire rescue for accidents, we get called out a lot more. But so there's a lot more dual calls for EMS and fire than there used to be. That's all I have, unless the mayor has another question.
Yeah, I do actually have a question for you, so fill in my lap. Interstate, calls to the interstate accidents and that kind of thing.
What's that?
Calls out on interstate, has that been increasing?
I don't think it's been increasing.
Okay.
It's been about the same. But we get a lot of calls on the interstate, but I don't know if it's increased.
The 78 exchange is over here, isn't it? That thing is deadly. For ice and all that, it's like the first one to ice up out there, so.
Well, I think if we were to annex that into the city limits, we could control that.
Well, I know KDOT's low on money because of space station and all, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. On the end of the council agenda, that is the project report. I hope everybody takes a look at that each month. And I asked Greg, and he shows that it's pretty up to date. You can run through there and see what projects we're doing and where we stand on that. And so I appreciate staff and everybody that puts that information in there. It's a quick way to reference what's happened throughout the year, such as no outages for November and December. So it's a pretty big deal. Any others tonight? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say so. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Mark.